Good morning and welcome to the August Peony newsletter. Let's begin with the bow. So, as usual, thank you for taking the time to listen to this update or read the text below. Um, I'm grateful for your engagement. The first thing that I would like to update everyone on is that I just finished the summer set of leadership calls for Peony leadership. And I'm sure you hear me, me say this regularly, but I host 3 calls throughout the year, 3 sets of calls. And so I just hosted 4 calls in the last week. And I really encourage those of you in Peony leadership to prioritize these calls if you have not. They really are a good place to hear updates, but also, and perhaps most importantly, connect with other leaders and share experiences and concerns. And they're always very sweet and inspiring. And so, please, if you are in leadership, uh, consider joining those calls. The next set of calls will be in October. I just set those dates, and so the invitations will be going out maybe this week, maybe next week, but very soon. The next update is I've decided to start to host open community calls from my office. And so also in October, um, I have no idea what the response will be to these calls, but fundamentally similar to the leadership calls that I've been hosting. I just want to have a space that's open to everyone in the community to come, to hear updates, to connect to each other, to express concerns and inspirations. Um, and so I thought, well, let's give this a shot. And I think it depends on the response. And so I'm going to host 3 of these open calls in October. The dates are below in the email, but it's October 26th, 28th, and 31st at different times. And you need to RSVP. My email is below. And then you'll get a link to that particular call. Anyway, this is new and I'm just trying it. And so I don't quite know. So right now it's just open space. And I think if 20 people show up, something can happen. But if, 75 people show up, I think it would be a different call. And so I just need to see what the response is before I really know what the possibilities are. But again, really, the intention is connection and connection and care. So please look at the below for the actual dates and times and to RSVP. And a separate email will go out about this. The next update is about Warrior Assembly. The planning is already in process. And it's a little too early. Things will still wiggle around a bit. I am hoping to host 1, if not 2, Warrior Assemblies in the summer of 2026. And the way that it typically works is like around November or December, I'll be able to actually announce the dates and teachers and locations. And then by January, the application process opens. And so stay tuned, but know that that is the intention, and certainly one will happen, and hopefully two. For those of you who don't know, Warrior Assembly is a 10-day residential program that is open to people who have completed the Shambhala Training Sacred Path program. So there's the Heart of Warriorship, which are the Shambhala Training levels 1 through 5. That's followed by the Sacred Path. It could have different number of levels based on how things are broken up. And that is basically Great Eastern Sun, Windhorse Drala, the Four Dignities, and a retreat called Golden Key. And at the completion of that, you're eligible to attend Warriorism. So, and that just goes deeper with a text and further practices. So stay tuned for more specific information about that as soon as it really solidifies. The next update is about background checks. In consultation with Tara Templin in the Community Care and Conduct Office, as well as the legal team, as of June 2025, we are requiring all newly trained MIs and teachers, so again, newly trained as of June 2025, to pay for and submit their own background check. So there are a number of important pieces here. It is important to stress that it is only for newly trained MIs and teachers, but the sense is that over time, as we continue to train and as a chunk of our population ages out, we will get to a point where the entire core of MIs and teachers have background checks on file. And so they expire roughly every 5 years. And so this is going to be an ongoing need. And it's important also to emphasize that it is the responsibility of the individual. This way, it doesn't burden the center financially, but it also creates a kind of self-reflection point where I, as an MI or teacher, need to decide, wait, this is going to actually cost me money, $25 to $75 in North America. And so it depends on your location. So is this something that I'm using? Am I actually up to date and feel confident in holding this role, right? Am I still utilizing continuing education? And is this active? And so am I willing to pay for something that I'm using? Or is it time for me to let this lapse? Or perhaps it's time, given my life circumstances, to put it on pause for a little while. Right. So anyway, it creates an opportunity for more personal engagement. And I support that on our paths. And so center leadership has received a copy of the policy and the procedure for submitting these. But again, it applies to newly trained. So as of June 2025, newly trained MIs and teachers. I think the last update that I have is that there's been a change to the P&E committee. So when I started my job, I met with members of the Shambhala board. And they've changed their leadership style. And so they are focusing much more on policy. And now I am gathering together uh, representatives of each working group, as well as Faraday Rudy, who is my direct supervisor, and Ivan Trosher, who would represent Europe. There's also other Europeans, possibly. So anyway, but Ivan is there as well. And we had one call so far. So this is new, but I'm looking forward to see how this group can really blossom, report on kind of individual areas of responsibility, but also start to identify overlap and places for collaboration, as well as gaps of, is anyone looking and caring at this particular area? And so we met in July, and anyway, we're beginning a process. And I think that we need to learn into who we are together and how we want to go forward. But I feel a lot of possibility in this group. And so I wanted to communicate that that is happening. Those are all of the updates that I have. And so, again, thank you for taking the time. Know that I'm sending out a number of things in separate emails, the leadership call email and the open community calls. But also please reach out if you have any questions or concerns. I'm happy to either email or schedule a call and talk about things. Okay, thank you so much, and please take care. And I look forward to the next time we're together.